Right, turn two. And first thing you'll probably notice is I had to revert back to the blue counters. The grass bases are lovely. Nothing against them at all. It was just a little bit hard to differentiate, I think, looking back. So movement-wise, I can. He sort of moved around Alex Inky. He fired on some units there, put some skirmishes out. He's got quite a lot of cavalry he moved around, which is good because we said that we're not going to play with more than 300 in a hex. Saying that, I need to sort some out myself. I forgot to do that last time. I noticed some troop movement over here, sort of northeast of the Great Redoubt. He's moving troops, what looks to be towards Borodino. He sort of moved them over the river, limbered some guns up and brought them across. Other than that, we had some movement down here as well. We saw some cavalry coming. Cossacks, of course, on our flank. That's a given. I'm expecting them in the woods, and I'm expecting them also up in sort of the plains to the north, up in this area as well. I'm expecting, just turn that beep off. Still, it is off. Okay, never mind. So plan for this turn then. Some troops, we started to see them around Borodino itself as well. I'm just going to put those names on permanently. I'm not really going to attack Borodino too much. For a start, I've only just got cavalry coming. I'm going to have to sort them out. I completely slipped my mind last time. And I don't know, probably bring this cavalry up to the north to hide it as much as possible. This side of the river, on the east side of the river, so they don't get disordered if they need it. Other than that, continue my attack into Alexinki. Continue getting my divisions down either side of this marshy ground. So they're coming down this side like this. And then continue with Freelance Division, sort of bypassing Alexinki as much as possible. Shevardino Redoubt itself, we started to see some troops and some skirmishes there. This is going to be a feint attack. I'm going to bring them into cover maybe in the fields here, and down just behind this ridge here and in the woods, and just sort of skirmish around here. I'm not going to go into the redoubt itself, certainly not with a frontal assault, until my other two divisions calm down, probably a couple of turns worth. No reinforcements this turn. We're expecting the Poles in about a turn or two, and then they're going to come along that old Smolensk road, can't speak today, up to Utitsa. So that is the plan there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get everybody moving that needs to be moved, sort that cavalry out that's overstacked, and get back to you. So movement done on turn two then, and a lot of it was sorting out that cavalry. It does look like I've got an awful lot more cavalry than I actually have. It's just because everything was pretty much present on the field in regiments, so I had to go around and just split it all into squadrons. For the most part, I left one or two regiments there where it was 100, and some of the light cavalry around here I sort of left as it was. Might sort them out later on. Freelance Division, I continued pulling to the east of Alexinki to try and get round behind, and down towards Shevardino. I started moving troops across and came across quite a heavy skirmisher line. I take it he's got skirmishers everywhere. So I ran out of movement points when I got to the field, but I was going to give them a little bit of protection in there. So yeah, it's all walled off. That's good. So I've got a skirmisher line for next time. I tend to use skirmishers more defensively than maybe some people do. But I think, as I said, because it's such wide open spaces and the number of troops involved, I'm going to have to get a decent skirmish line out on the offence as well as defence this time. I've limbered up my artillery around Borodino as well, just because on these hexes, remember, we couldn't really see anything. I thought I could see the Shevardino Redoubt, but I can't. So I've limbered it up. Coming over here somewhere, just because it will give a nice bit of protection. I can't remember where the hex was. Was it these hexes? Somewhere. Might have to bring some infantry to protect them, but it does give a little bit of protection to that southern flank. So we might as well carry on straight. We get some combat done. It's all going to be all going to be skirmishing down this end to begin with. Not going on the offence at all, really. Certainly not until I've got some numbers up. I think they're a bit far, are they? Hardly worth it. So that's the situation around Shevardino that I'm going to leave it there. Just a little bit wary of these Cossacks coming. So I've sent some skirmishers out. They're going to act as bait. He always goes for them. Maybe bring these guys down a bit and just put them into square. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Can he see? No, so you can't see there. That would be a bit of a surprise. Up towards Helsinki then. I started to move this division across. Whose division is it? First division across. Just because they're going to bypass Helsinki. However, they can sort of maybe get this artillery on this side, up on this high ground to the west of Helsinki. And just provide a bit of cover fire. But I did manage to limber quite a bit of artillery up here actually, and quite a lot of it is horse artillery, mind you. That was probably the worst placement I've ever had for artillery. What have we got here with this artillery? They can't really see anything either. They have changed line of sight quite a bit for this, so those guns are pretty useless, so they're going to get limbered straight back up. And yeah, I think next turn they're going to go in with the infantry because it's horse artillery, nice and light, nice and nimble, and provide a bit of punch. However, for now, we'll just keep to our skirmishers. So many skirmishers around here. I might start to put some back with their parent units. I mean, they're doubled up. I don't like that. It's not the way I play, but never mind. That's a light gun that I unlimbered. We did have some artillery here that could fire upon... While we go with those troops. Okay. And started to move cavalry across towards Borodino. Did unlimber some horse artillery here. Who have we got? We'll have a go at these chaps. Guard units. Okay, so that'll be a tough job to get actually into Borodino itself. Cavalry are just going to provide overwatch. They're not going to attack a town across a bridge and over a river with cavalry. Not that mad. So yeah, they're just going to provide overwatch and starting to hide some of this cavalry up here. Are they still overstacked? 62, 180. No, they're not. And up towards here, just because I've got a feeling it is good cavalry ground up here. It's lovely cavalry ground, probably the best on the map around Loginovo. I'm terrible with place names, really am. So if I butchered them, I do apologise. So at the end of turn 2, that's the situation. Continuing our assault and bypass of Helsinki on our way down to Shevardino. Shevardino bringing everybody across the river from Borodino. And getting into position. So that's about it for this turn. I'll send it over and we'll get back to it. Already turn 3 and yeah, attacked. Cavalry, skirmishers, those that watch the other videos, even straight away. So reinforcements arrived. This is good news. I think that's Pontanowski's Polish Legion or Polish Brigades down in the woods. But let's have a look first of all. Let me put some place names on. I've got the right button. Around Helsinki, he overran, I think about 4 lots of skirmishers, straight in there with his dragoons, so we're going to have to sort them out. And he had a nice hit on some troops up here as well, about 50 with a salvo from this battery up here, 12 guns. Russians always have a lot of guns, don't they? More cavalry appeared down here as well. They seem to be on their way. It's going to be a case of business as usual. I hope not. Same thing around Shevardino Redoubt to the south of it. He overran some skirmishers and pushed some line infantry back with his cavalry. Cossacks, they pushed some skirmishers out of the way. He's straight into it. He just does not hold back. The other, not concerning news, but some other Cossacks, should I say, appeared down here as well to sort of towards this tree line where I'm going to be setting up my artillery. So I'm going to have to bring some troops back and defend this high ground and Borodino as well. I can't have him overrun. We've got there 14 guns. It would just be an absolute waste, and he'll get behind as well. But that's more essential to bring some troops back and defend around here than it is to push forward, because all I'm going to do here, remember, was actually place them underneath this ground here, so this high ground, and sit it out until these guys arrive down from the north. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue bringing this division down up the north flank of Borodino. I'm going to have to try and sort some squares out here, get some cavalry across, might actually bring some heavies. It's good cavalry ground here. They can get over this track along the Kolochka River. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do, but just off the top of my head, I may bring some of this cavalry. They're going to have to cross as well, but they were for Borodino. Yeah, but I might bring some of these cuirassiers across, I think, and they can add a little bit of protection. We do have quite a lot of artillery, which is quite good, so hopefully we'll take some chunks out of these squadrons of dragoons and send them packing. Where else did we see movement? Borodino, he's bringing these troops across, so he is reinforcing. He's bringing some artillery up. I dare say there's some cavalry coming at some point. Where else did we see movement? I think that was about it, really. He had a bit of movement. He's bringing artillery up into the Great Redoubt. Yeah, just odds and sods here and there, really. Nothing around here at the moment. Luckily, we do have some troops coming, so I think they're coming in with that Yelnya road there on the old Smolensk road. I'm going to press them forward to Titsa, I think, rather than deal with these Cossacks from the back, because that's just going to tie down a lot of troops. I think I've got enough here to actually get through. I mean, I've got a square there. Bring some of these line troops back to defend Borodino on this high ground. What I don't want is just, and he is liable to do it if I'm not careful, is Cossacks just roaming around everywhere, disrupting everything. I'm gonna have to try and nip him in the bud. It's a little. I don't suppose it is gamey, to be honest, with Cossacks, but he's just throwing them away. He likes to throw his cavalry away. Cossacks understand what he's doing down here with them and disrupting me. But come on, putting dragoons in on turn 2 for him, wasn't it? That's brave. Straight from the off. We've got a long time to go, 140 turns. So yeah, I'm going to get everybody moved, and I'll get back to you in a few. That's everybody moved for that turn then. I'm going to start in the southern sector with the Polish army that are arriving, or the Polish brigades that are arriving. And started marching on the road, and as you can see, lo and behold, what did I bump into from the off? A load of Cossacks. So we'll have a go at some of these Cossacks. Be nice to try and get people in squares, but I don't think I've got enough. I haven't got enough movement points for them. I just fast moved them on the road. Didn't really expect any Cossacks to be there. Should have done that a bit more slow and steady, really. However, it is what it is. So yeah, bumped into Cossacks. So on the old Smolensk road with my Poles. Up here, around Borodino, I got these guys in square. So we'll have a go who we got, 40 and a 50. Well, we've got the guys with 40. And these troops are going to attacked by the Cossacks. By these dragoons. I moved them back across the river. I've pulled a couple of battalions across just to overlook or protect Borodino and this high ground. This horse artillery's got quite a nice line of sight now for any approach made by any cavalry around here. That gun is the same. Nice line of sight over this sort of open hexes around here. Don't have enough. I unlimbered them, but don't have enough to turn them around. But that's no big issue. We can do that next time. We've got some 1st Brigade as well, and around Borodino itself, I put some squares out just for that cavalry. I don't think, can he see them? I can't remember if he can or not. No, so it's going to be a little bit of a surprise to him if he does come down that road. He's going to have to deal with squares. I will get these skirmishes out of the way as well, otherwise we'll just lose them. Can't move closer to cavalry, so I'll bring them on the main road there. We'll carry on skirmishing where we can. These guys, low ammo, okay, so you've got to come back. When I risk losing that? No, if I bring it on the road. Bring them back. Okay, you can fire. These skirmishers here, I'm just going to protect some of these line troops. Oh, why do I do that? And just have a skirmisher line out rather than the whole battalion. Bring you back as well. Okay, so yeah, got my skirmish line out. Happy with that. Okay, so that's pretty much it for Borodino this turn. Just reinforcing the area around Borodino, just because we've got the threat of these Cossacks. Got some Cossacks on our southern flank around here as well, but we've got squares out to protect them. And my skirmish line, I'm fairly happy with that. Move them around. No, no. Okay. So up around Helsinki then, that was the next part of this. I've got my division coming down here. My first division. So they're continuing their march along the stream to the north side. Looks like another turn or two. And the leading elements will be in position at the north of Borodino to help with the attack there. Around Helsinki itself then, this was the biggest problem just because he steamrolled in right away from the start almost with a couple of hundred dragoons. So I had to move my skirmishers in because he just gets attracted to skirmishers and just goes for them wherever they are. And then I had to put some squares in. These troops, what are they? My second division. Freehound's troops, they're still in this gully, this valley, and I didn't quite have enough to put them into squares. But he can't see them in that valley, so it'd be nice for them to go into squares there and act as a bit of surprise if he does venture forth with all of these heavies, hussars and dragoons. Yeah, had to put everybody into square as I said, so we'll start attacking. What have we got here? There we are. So everybody on these turning off dragoons. And we do have some artillery up here that I think can see some as well, so we're definitely going to get stuck into them. And again. And with this horse artillery. And this horse artillery is quite badly placed, so I think I will actually limber that up and bring it. Where do I want to bring it? I'll bring it forward here. That's not a bad spot. I did move some artillery here as well, but I don't think... No, it's not facing it, and I ran out of points, so that's there for next turn though, so that's not a big issue. Everybody else is in squares. They can fire over there. Put my skirmishers in to Helsinki itself. And I think we might just start pushing forward in Helsinki. See if we can't take it. Nope. With the all-powerful skirmishers. Okay. Cavalry-wise, I'm leaving some hussars around here just to act as a bit of back protection between the two bridges. Started moving over the heavy brigade, or the heavies, They're going to be disordered when they cross the river, but hopefully, because all the leadership's there, they're not fatigued. They'll sort themselves out in relatively short order once they do get over that river. I diverted some of my heavies here, my cuirassiers around here, just to deal with anything that he's going to throw up here. So we do have that cavalry here. We've got hussars. We've got some, I think they're dragoons yet. Again, same principle. So once they go over the river, they're going to disorder, but hopefully they will sort themselves out by the time they actually cross over, and give them a turn or two just to sort themselves out. Might bring some horse artillery. Well, we've got one battery there, one battery there. No. Most of these, or if not all, are light cavalry. So that's just because we're working with quite a large area here. Now he is moving some troops across, don't forget, and we do have some fire with this gun up. How are we for ammo? Yeah, I'd say we'll be okay for ammo. I hope. And that, I think, is about it. Yeah, so I'm carrying on moving some light cavalry, my Chevaux Leger Lancers up closer to Borodino. I will take some cuirassiers up just as well, just in case. Yeah, that's that fast movement. Okay, 300, it's not bad. Actually, I can move them out of the way. And that's about the situation as it stands. End of turn 3. There's already been action on his part. Cavalry skirmishers, it goes, and he's lost, look at that already, 275. Mind you, I've lost 400 infantry within, and I haven't even done anything really. We'll send that over, and we'll get back to you on the next turn, guys.